Well. Yesterday on the channel, we of course talked about the potential for a big PlayStation 5 reveal happening this week involving PlayStation Spartacus, which was a name that I wasn't really a fan of. So it was going to be interesting to see if this ended up coming to fruition. Sort of Sony's semi-response to what Game Pass brings to the table, because Game Pass brings you a lot of value. It's a good service. I don't understand why some people don't like it. But today, early this morning, Sony did announce what is actually happening. Jim Ryan put out a big blog post over on the official PlayStation blog. So we're just going to go over this because now it's called PlayStation Plus. Kind of the name it's already called now, but there's going to be expanded tiers. There's going to be more games, more stuff, more systems added to it. So we're going to go over what's being added to it, what I think about it, and all that sort of stuff. First time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share if you enjoyed this video. But without any further ado, let's dive right into this. So I will say, I think it's kind of half-assed that they didn't make a video about it. So we have to read everything. I don't understand why they didn't put something up on YouTube to showcase what it's going to be. You can make a fancy little trailer. Sony, if you're hurting and looking for someone to do that, I will be that person. I can make a trailer for you. So PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now come together. Players can choose from 3 flexible options, which was pretty much what we talked about yesterday. I didn't like how it was different things. It was very confusing for consumers. Lion Jim Ryan taking the stage here and talking to us. Since PlayStation Plus in 2010, Sony Interactive Entertainment has been at the forefront of innovation with game subscription services. Okay, come on. Give a little credit to Xbox Game Pass. That's just kind of weird. So happening in June, we're bringing together PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now in an all-new PlayStation Plus subscription service that provides more choice to customers across 3 membership tiers globally. So it's going to be a staggered thing right now. Obviously, the PlayStation Plus Essential is pretty much what we have right now. You get the standard stuff, such as, your 2 downloadable games, discounts, cloud storage, online multiplayer access. Interesting. I never really thought of the fact that PlayStation Plus was how you did cloud storage, and it wasn't without anything. So I guess there is a charge for it, kind of like the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, you can see here, $60 a year, $10 a month, pretty much what it is right now. But here's where things heat up. Here's where things get very interesting. PlayStation Plus Extra, because you got to keep the PlayStation Plus name. You also get all of the benefits from the Essential tier, plus it adds a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, including blockbuster hits from our PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party partners. Games in the Extra tier are downloadable for play, so it's not just streaming stuff. You can download these games, which, that's a good thing. I still don't think game streaming is really where we want it to be quite yet. Google Stadia is the only one who really nailed it on the head, and then, nobody really liked it and got it. So $15 a month or $100 a year, you get access to up to 400 of the most enjoyable PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games. So not going into the retro stuff here with this tier. There is no retro unless you consider the PlayStation 4 retro, which you're an idiot because it's not a retro system. And then here's the big daddy. Here's the banger. Here's what we all were expecting. Something that I was talking about. PlayStation Plus Premium Edition. This gives you a lot of bells and whistles. So you get, of course, everything within the Essential and Extra tiers. And then we add up to 340 additional games, including PlayStation 3 games available via cloud streaming. I told you it was going to be like that. I told you it wasn't going to be native, but nobody listens to me when it comes to PlayStation stuff because I don't have my flag in the PlayStation brand quite like I have it in the Nintendo brand, but we're working on that. I want my flag in every brand. I need to be the master of video games. A catalog of beloved classic games and both streaming and download options from the original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PSP generations. Offers cloud streaming access for original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in the Extra and Premium tiers in markets where PlayStation Now is currently available. Customers can stream games using their PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 consoles and PC. Very interesting. The whole PC aspect, being able to play these games, which, I don't know. I feel like if you're playing PlayStation 2 stuff, you're probably not on your PC, that is. you're probably not interested in this because you're doing things like high-res texture packs and stuff. Like if you've seen Gran Turismo 4 with the high-res texture pack, it's absolutely mind-blowing. It looks beautiful. Timed limited game trials will also be offered in this tier, so customers can try select games before they buy, kind of like we see with the Nintendo Switch Online service. And then here's the pricing of it. So we got, you know, $17.99 a month, $120 a year. Now we're starting to spend some big people money. We're starting to spend some very large money here. PlayStation Plus Deluxe selects markets for markets without cloud streaming. PlayStation Plus Deluxe will be offered at a lower price compared to Premium and includes a catalog of beloved classics from the original PS1, PS2, and PSP generations to download and play, along with the game trial. So you're not getting the PS3 stuff if you can't cloud stream, which I guess they're going by like country, which if we're doing that, like the US isn't really all that great. So then basically Lion Jim Ryan talks about some other stuff here. With these tiers, our key focus is to ensure that hundreds of games we offer will include the best quality content that sets us apart. At launch, we plan to include titles such as Death Stranding, God of War, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, and Returnal. So hey, you know, I never bought Returnal, now I can play it finally. We're working closely with our imaginative developers from PlayStation Studios and third-party partners to include some of the best gaming experiences available with the library that will be regularly refreshed. More details to come on the games we'll see to have on our PlayStation Plus service. And, you know, a lot of mumbo jumbo here. It looks like it's not going to be a direct thing with Game Pass as far as the day one games are concerned. You know, how you get like Halo Infinite, a new Forza on day one on the Xbox platform. It's not going to be like that on here. If you look at the wording and kind of how they're saying things, they still see a value in their first party IPs as far as a traditional sales standpoint, which does make sense. You know, it does make sense because they still sell very well. But what do I think about this PlayStation Plus extended, what was it, extra and premium? I think it's a good thing. You know, it's obviously a good thing. I would have loved to have seen PlayStation 3 games natively. I know that's kind of a far out request. That's something that probably isn't very feasible on the system because of the architecture of the PlayStation 3. I would have liked to have seen that, but I think it's good overall. It really comes down to the games list for me, because we're talking about, if you get the you know, premium tier, we're talking about over 700 games over the course of time. I'm sure it's not going to be 700 right at the start, but over 700 games added over the course of time for, you know, everything from the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 4. So, you know, that's a really good library. Obviously, it's a little bit disappointing that the old Vita isn't on there, but you had touchscreen stuff on the Vita. That's kind of hard to mimic. I guess you could have found a way to do it. But for me, it comes down to the games list, and it comes down to the emulation side of things, because obviously all these games are going to be emulated. Are you going to add some cool stuff to the emulators to clean up the textures like we've seen in previous games? You know, are you going to expand upon that? Are you going to do some different things with that? Because I think that could end up being very important for this service, you know, adding in that extra value for consumers, because now we're talking about all these different subscription services, and it kind of looks like, you know, the whole cut the cord thing. Remember that? Where initially you cut the cord, you got like one or two services, and then you had everything that you could see on cable plus more, and then all these other companies started doing their own individual services, and, you know, it made things a bit bogged down. You don't have things like EA and Ubisoft services included in this as well, at least in the literature that we have for right now. So, you know, there's a lot of question marks with this. There's a lot of, you know, what's going to be the future of this? How often is it going to be updated? What sort of roadmap are you going to give us? What sort of games are going to be included? But I think just on the surface level, it does look very good. You know, it looks like something that I will be checking out. Of course, the premium tier, I mean, we're not going to half-ass it. If we're going to go for it, we're going to go for it all the way, because I want to play some classic PlayStation hits. But very curious to see how this all plays out. It sounds good on the surface level. I think the execution will be, you know, fun to see. And the initial lineup of games, that's really what I have my eye on. How deep into the catalog, you know, what sort of choice cuts are we going to get from here? The PlayStation 2 side of things, you know, that's very exciting. You know, hopefully there's some, you know, HD textures. There's a few PlayStation 2 games out there like Rogue Galaxy that you could currently play, but I'm going to see you go balls deep in this, because you have so many awesome PlayStation 2 games. that you really could benefit, especially if you're able to do some texture packs and stuff like that, or just HD textures and stuff. You really could be onto something here. So that is what PlayStation Plus, I guess that's what they should have called it, PlayStation Plus. That would have made more sense. But that's what this service is going to bring to the table. Let me know in the comment section down below if you are now anticipating June and when this service drops. If so, what tier you're going to get, or do you think Sony kind of dropped the ball with this and Game Pass and Nintendo Switch Online is a better option? And if you think Nintendo Switch Online is a better option, seek help. Seek help. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share, all that good YouTube nonsense. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.